Kia ora everyone. Well, welcome back. We're here again in our garden at the seminary, Mara Seminary here in Auckland. And it's great to be able to be here again, to be able to read the Gospel. I won't be able to read the Passion. That would be very long for me to read, but I'll read that little Gospel that comes at the beginning of the Palm Sunday service. And of course, here it is. Here's the Palm to acknowledge Christ entering into Jerusalem. And thoughts go out to all of you, to all of your homes where you are, and the isolation that we're all in. As I say, we're very fortunate to have a beautiful garden and space like this. But blessings on each of you, and I hope things are going okay considering all the things that we're dealing with at this time. May you truly have the support of your family and your loved ones. The Gospel comes to us. I'll just put this palm down. The Gospel comes to us today from St. Matthew. When they were near Jerusalem and had come in sight of Bethphage on the Mount of Olives, Jesus sent 2 disciples, saying to them, "Go to the village facing you, and you will immediately find a tethered donkey and a colt with her. Untie them and bring them to me. If anyone says anything to you, you are to say, 'The Master needs them,' and will send them back directly." This took place to fulfill the prophecy. "Say to the daughter of Zion, 'Look, your king comes to you. He is humble. He rides on a donkey and on a colt, the foal of a beast of burden.'" So the disciples went out and did as Jesus had told them. They brought the donkey and the colt. Then they laid their cloaks on their backs, and he sat on them. Great crowds of people spread their cloaks on the road, while others were cutting branches from the trees and spreading them in the path. The crowds who went in front of him and those who followed were all shouting, "Hosanna to the Son of David! Blessings on him who comes in the name of the Lord! Hosanna in the highest heavens!" And when he entered Jerusalem, the whole city was in turmoil. "Who is this?" people asked, and the crowds answered, "This is the prophet Jesus. He is from Nazareth in Galilee." Sister Anne Powell of the Senecal Sisters on the Kapiti Coast sent me a reflection on Christ's entry into Jerusalem in the light of what is happening for us here in New Zealand. She has kindly agreed that I could share it with you this morning. And I know it's not only in New Zealand, it's throughout the world, isn't it? She begins by quoting Patrick J. Murphy. "Jesus comes into your city or town at this time of COVID-19. He enters into a place of desertion and isolation. He sees people shut in behind their windows. He hears silence, not adulation. He meets no children excitedly waving branches. It is like street theatre with nobody watching." In the Gospel extract I just read for you from Matthew 21, 1 to 11, some of the people asked, "Who is this?" Others answered by saying, "This is the prophet Jesus from Nazareth in Galilee." We could sit for a few moments now and respond to that question of who Christ is for us. and you may like to do that later on. Through your imagination, you can picture him coming into your street, your home. What do you notice about Jesus? Become aware of how you feel on seeing him. What might Jesus mean by this solitary action, coming unprotected into your deserted town? Does he see the street signs? Walk solo, keep 2 meters apart, stay at home, especially if you're over 70 or have compromised health. Don't mix with others outside your bubble. Hosanna to the one who comes in the name of the Lord. Hosanna to the King. So, what kind of king is he? This is vulnerable Jesus, whose heart is breaking. This is Jesus who craves human touch and comfort at this time, on the edge of his passion and death. This is Jesus who wept at the death of his friend Lazarus. This is Jesus who talked about seeds, bread, fish, vines, children, and being just, forgiving and loving to one another. This is Jesus who shared food. This is Jesus who slept on that cushion in the boat during a storm, while the disciples grew panicked and fearful. Invite Jesus into your home today, or wherever you are. Invite him into your centre. Think of how he understands what you are going through at this time of COVID-19. Ask him for what you or our world needs today as we enter into a different kind of Holy Week. One of isolation, fear, and more aloneness than we'd ever anticipated. But a Holy Week journey in which we believe there are the seeds of hope and justice, kindness and love, seeds that can transform the world. Well, thanks very much, Anne, for that reflection. And I hope you find it really helpful today as we begin Holy Week. I'd like to share with you today, for our music reflection, Psalm 30, which I've just entitled Save Me, from Making Music to Your Name. It is the psalm used on Good Friday, and of course we won't be together on Good Friday, but it's very much this journey that we're on this week, accompanying the Lord, and of course the Lord accompanying us on our journey too. It's not difficult to hear the voice of Jesus in this psalm as he faced rejection and condemnation, leading to his arrest and crucifixion. Knowing that he is with us and that we are united with him, we perhaps can hear our own voice, the voices of those around us and around the world, dealing with suffering and sorrow. Save me, O Lord. My life is in your hands. from the snares they have hidden. For you are my refuge, Lord. Into your hands I commend my spirit. You will redeem me, Lord. Save me, O Lord. My life is in your hands. I have heard the whispers of the crowd. Fear is all around as they plot together against me, as they plan to take my life. Save me, O Lord. My life is in your hands. As for me, I trust in you, Lord. I say you are my God. My life is in your hands. Deliver me from the hands of those who hate me. Save me, O Lord. My life is in your hands. Let your face shine on your servant. Save me in your unfailing love. Let me not be put to shame, Lord, for I have cried out to you.